So I admit this is potentially a touchy subject, an interesting question in terms of your local gaming store, your local hobby store, where you go in to buy some product, to buy some dice, some paints, some miniatures, and or you go in to play. And if you go into play, Thursday night's D&D, Sunday is Warhammer 40K, Monday's X-Wing miniature night, Tuesday's board gaming night. If you go in to sit down and play, how do you feel about this idea of a day pass or a membership pass where you have to pay maybe $5, $10, or $15 to sit down and play? You just can't walk in, not buy anything, and hang out all day. Participating in a tournament's a little bit different because you have an entry fee and you have some prize support. The model here in New York, in Westchester where I live, out of the 6 or so 7 gaming stores that I know of and that I visit, this is the majority of the model. $5 or $10 entry fee. Some of the stores directly keep it. Some of the stores will turn around and give you a ticket or put it on your account, a punch card where you have revolving store credit. You're adding to store credit. So it's not really pay to play. It's like we're going to bank some money and hold it for store credit that you can spend on whatever you want. Dice, books, miniatures, snacks. The 2 stores that don't collect pay to play, they're still in business. And I'm not really quite sure how you could go and hang out there all Saturday, buy nothing, play whatever you want. They have different support models from that perspective. So how do you feel about that? I understand in terms of running a business, all the expenses that you have to pay and things you have to take care of, physical product, stock on the shelf, orders, using the big thing that I always wonder how store managers are able to do this in terms of gaming stores. When customers order product, when they put in requests for you to order items for them, that's a deposit that you're paying for. You're paying ahead of time for that order. You're banking that money. You're committing some of your money towards orders, and they can be very expensive and they can add up. And then when they come in, sometimes you have to chase the customers down or the customers disappear, although I think most customers, most players understand in placing a special order or in placing an order, there's the desire, they want that. They want that box of Space Marines. There's a very real need for it, and as soon as it comes in, they're going to pay for that. But all these what-ifs just before you can turn a profit. And it's one thing to be a single person running a gaming store. Imagine if you have a family or other dependents that you have to support. So I understand looking at all of the revenue streams and the revenue models that are out there, and especially being in the lower Hudson Valley, New York area, just to walk out, everything's so expensive. I mean, just to walk out your door, it's like $50. It's crazy. So understanding how high rents are, to be able to spend 3, 4, 5, or 6 hours or an entire Saturday or Sunday hanging out with friends and rolling dice for $5, that's really not that outrageous. Now, I do understand everyone's situation is different, and in having a store policy, it's not always fair, but it's either all in or all out. And if you have to enforce that $5, that $10, that $15, then that's the store policy. So I realize that depending on where certain people are in their life, that might not be a possibility. But then by not supporting it, you're physically taking up space and you're encouraging perhaps people to just hang out. And do you want your business to turn into that? So there's a lot of what ifs. But the question that I ask is, in terms of a revenue model, is it really making that much money? Is it really? I mean, every dollar's a dollar. I get it. And some of the larger gaming stores around here just go in when it's busy and count in an hour how many people hang out and play, and it's $10, $15 a pop. That does add up. While a couple of other stores that no one's in, you're like, oh, you made $20 for the day off your customers hanging out for a day pass. The other model that intrigues me is the idea of a board game cafe or an official gaming club, much where you pay in advance to play, or there's other revenue generating models. The idea that you take a board game down, you can play as long as you want. We've got 100 in the store. You can buy a few on your way out, but the model is we're going to get you to sit here and hang out, and then we're going to sell you $15 drinks, and we're going to sell you, $18 appetizers. That's the revenue to delivery. The much like the idea of a sports bar, we're going to put up lots and lots of TVs so you can hang out, and while you're hanging out, we're going to be selling you food. I get that model, and I wonder if long term if that model is a lot more viable. But I'm interested. Like I say, you guys are really my secret weapon in the gaming community, not only for tactics and ideas and D&D adventures and Battletech tactics and 40K tactics. And we've got to really get moving on 9th because things are heating up. And I'm doing my Eldar, Way of Samhan for 9th. That's going to be the key in. The new Kron models, I'm feeling them. I'm excited. But I'm feeling that call to chaos. I'm feeling the whisper of chaos. So I'm doing my best to prioritize. We've got to get in to that perspective. But I'm curious in terms of a secret weapon where you are, established gaming stores, whether there's a few, one, or a lot, is this idea of a day pass just kind of standard fare? And how do you feel about it? Or how do the other people in the store feel about it? How is it approached? Because certainly it can't be just a New York thing.